there's a point in the franchise where it's gotten so many movies and so many storylines and so many this and that that it kind of loses itself. And this X-Men Apocalypse is a point where they've gone too far. So X-Men Apocalypse is a 2016 movie. It's coming to theaters tomorrow. Of course, that I work in a theater, so I'm able to see it a day in advance. And my first initial action is that I didn't like it, and I wanted to like this movie. I really did want to like this movie, because I liked all the rest of the X Men movies. I loved every single one besides X Men Origins Wolverine. The abomination that is that movie, a very bad movie. Don't recommend it if you haven't seen it. This movie, it's it's hard to hate it because you know what the director was going to, and Bryan Singer does a really good job with this franchise. He's done a really good job with the franchise. Days of the Future Past is one of the best superhero movies of all time, in my opinion. It's a very good movie. It's actually, I would say it's a great movie. And they kind of took a step back. Bryan Singer has always been great with combining CGI with practical effects, and in this one, he kind of throws that kind of his kind of own rule out. Of course, sorry, sorry. I don't know. I've been coughing all day, so that's weird. I don't know if that was the studio interference, like they did with Fantastic Four or Fan Stick Four Stick, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it was kind of like that, where they're like, "Oh, I want these elements." They went to them and want these elements, and these elements have to be in it. And of course, those elements can't be in the movie without CGI, because basically Apocalypse can do pretty much anything in the movie. He has no development, character development. You don't know who he is. He just some type of villain they have to stop, and he's some type of basically cliche villain. He wants to destroy the world, like every cliche villain out there. Just wants to destroy the world just because we're evil. We're being blinded by leaders that are evil and blah 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 blah. We're not worthy, of course. Non mutants, and it's dang sorry, and it's not great. The characters in the movie don't they have motivations in the movie that don't make sense with later on movies, and it makes like sense that they did redo it. They did kind of spoiler for Days of Future Past. They kind of basically rewrote history, kind of like the original Star Trek movie, the remake Star Trek movie. Sorry, not the original, the remake Star Trek movie. They kind of set their own course, right? But it seems like they're just like Star Trek Into Darkness. They seem to go down the similar path, but in Star Trek Into Darkness, the similar path made sense. Like their motivations made sense. In this one, some of the characters die that are not in the movie that are in the original movies. Some of the characters are bad and then turn good randomly. They don't. That doesn't make any sense. Uh, and the first half of the movie is very good. It's basically Apocalypse trying to basically recruit these villains that want more power, that possess more power, and are very strong mutants. And his goal is to basically get Xavier. I won't spoil it why he's trying to get Xavier, but his end goal is to get Xavier. The mutants are there just to protect him while he does it. And of course, I think it amuses him that he has followers that are following him, and that he can basically manipulate people into believing what he believes, and following him and all this kind of stuff. The worst part of the movie is that there's character motivations that don't make sense, plot conveniences, a movie structure that is cliche. It's one part, two part, three part. First part it's slow. They build the tension. The second part, something really really tragic happens, and the third part is just stopping those people. The cool thing about this movie, though, is that they did have a very uh, dark approach to it. It's probably the darkest, at least X Men movie we've seen. A lot of people die. A lot of people die that or in the movie, and a lot of people die in like horrific deaths, and it's interesting to see that in a PG-13 movie that is a superhero movie, especially that's PG-13, not a superhero movie, of course, but PG-13 superhero movie. We haven't seen that yet, at least in the X-Men franchise. We've seen it, of course, in Deadpool that are rated R. We've seen it in certain like Civil War that are really gritty, but that's also very tonal. There's a very weird tonal change in the movie that happens in certain parts, and certain parts like Wolverine shows up. It shows in the trailer. Wolverine shows up, uh, and it seems like that whole part was just to show Wolverine. Pretty much a useless part of the movie. It doesn't help anything. Doesn't hurt anything. Doesn't change the course of the movie at all. Sorry about that. And that part, it slows it down. So it's really fast paced movie, and it jumps into the action very soon. Very soon in the movie. Very soon in the movie, it just jumps right into the action, and the storyline gets muddled in between. And it seems like some of the stars of the movie seem to overshine the more powerful mutants that should be shining in the movie, like Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence has some parts in the movie where she shouldn't be the voice of the thing. It's just dumb to think that she would be the voice. And they have this kind of half-assed type of way of describing why she's a hero to these people, but it doesn't click. Let's just say that. But the movie overall, it feels rushed. It feels studio evolved. It feels very cheaply made. The screenwriters seem to write their own basic logic. It doesn't seem like everybody's going down a linear path. It doesn't feel like they're basically their own. The villain's going to be destroyed at the end. It's very obvious throughout the movie. It's obvious. You'll see it when you see it. It's not even a spoiler. You know the bad guy's not going to win. The series isn't over. Basically, everybody's not going to die. So that's basically what the movie is trying to do, and it gets to a point where you're like, none of this is relevant because none of things is gonna happen. No, like, and basically like the Dark Knight, for example, Joker won. Joker won by manipulating certain people, right? It was very methodical. It's very behind the scenes. This one is just in your face, kind of like very CGI too, and very messy as a script. Very weird. Why, I don't know who the screenwriters are. I should probably, I'm gonna look them up to see who they are because they didn't do a really good job in this movie. So I would give X-Men Apocalypse a C minus. I would give it a C minus, and I would give it a 7 out of 10. Wait, no. I can't. See, I'm trying to be nice in the movie because I do like superhero movies, but I can't even. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it. Sorry, I'm gonna change it. A D. 6 out of 10. A 6.5 out of 10. A solid D. I would say it is a bad movie. Would I say it's a terrible movie? No. Would I say you can watch it and be entertained by it? Yes. But for those who want to come to the movie for a better plot, um, expect more from the franchise, you're going to be extremely disappointed with this movie. And basically, the trailers pretty much don't spoil the plot in the movie, but spoil what he wants to accomplish, and of course, that's not going to happen. So what did you guys think of it? Of course, I didn't really like it that much, but some of you guys are gonna, of course, going to go in there. Very big YouTuber has already said that he liked it. Chris Duckman has already said he's liked it. He said that the critics were a little too harsh on it. I actually think the critics were a little bit too harsh on it. 40 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes is not that. It should be higher. I do believe it should be higher. Should it be that much higher? No, it should be like in the 60s area. So what did you guys think of it? Please comment below what you liked about the movie and what you hated about the movie. Please hit that like button. Subscribe for more videos because, of course, I'm be reviewing a new movie coming next week. I plan on doing a video maybe this coming week. It's a little bit different than my movie review, but I feel like I should get it out to the viewers. So I'll see you guys next time.